Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the DarkMatch. Tonight we'll be covering the TNA show from the 26th of January? Yes, January. I am the Lone Warrior, and I'm still waking up, so forgive me.
I'm Duo's Angel.
I'm DigiFox. I'm the fox that rocks your socks.
And as always, I am your foxy friend Backlash. And hey, what do you know? It's time for What is Iron Sheik tweeting now? Anybody tell me I should have broken Hulk Hogan leg? Give me hell yeah! Otherwise, go fuck yourself and have a good day.
That sounds like Sheik, all right.
Yeah, very mixed messages. Go fuck yourself and have a good day. Well,
he didn't even say fuck the Virgil right after it.
Well, I guess any day you do fuck yourself would be pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good talent.
Terrible.
So yeah, anyway, TNA Impact.
Yeah, Impact. It's another stupid episode of Impact. They're all stupid.
Boring. I'm going to go ahead and consider this one of the worst ones I've ever watched, just because it was such a chore to sit through. There was nothing interesting. Not even Eric Young could pick it up.
Well, that's because the whole thing they're doing with Eric Young is kind of problematic and just doesn't work. At least not as long as Spike TV has the problem with violence against women from men. But we'll get to that when we get to Eric Young. But because we have to open with a backstage brawl. Because, you know, at least 50% of all impacts have to start with a backstage brawl.
But
to be honest, nothing like starting off your show with your face beating the holy hell out of somebody.
Yeah, and well, to be fair, at least it wasn't, a 20-minute in-ring promo of nothing fucking happening.
Yeah, but then the problem with it being a brawl like this, especially since we didn't really see like someone going and attacking, we started pretty much after Hardy had attacked Bully Ray. There's really, it's just suddenly watching two guys beat the fuck out of each other, and it doesn't really get that engaging unless you really like watching people fight.
Yeah, it's not a good way to do in media res.
It's just not something we care about. Yeah, they're fighting, but like who are we even supposed to root for? I mean, I assume Jeff Hardy because he's the face in all this, but like it's just nothing we're supposed to get emotionally involved in. It's just happening for the sake of happening.
Yeah, yeah, sure, okay, congrats TNA. You started us off with something other than talking. But we actually come here to watch wrestling, so a match would have been much better.
And a boiler room brawl doesn't count.
Yeah.
Anyway, the boiler room.
Anyways, they brawl to the parking lot, and Bobby Roode... Wait.
It brings up something important. We started with a recap, actually.
Oh, yeah, because that's mandatory.
That was ungodly long.
Yeah.
And then we had a really long brawl. And then we went to commercial.
Well, no. Because we go to the parking lot during the brawl, and Bobby Roode pulls up in his pickup truck, and he just kind of sits there for a moment. He's looking at Bully Ray getting the shit beaten out of him. He's like, should I help? Yeah, I'm gonna help.
Well, okay, now. Then he gets out, and they start beating... They basically kick the crap out of Jeff for a bit, and it looks like they're about to do a Samoa Joe to him, just throw him into the back of their truck and drive away as fast as they can.
That brought up so many questions when I realized what they were doing. It's like, are they kidnapped? Are they taking him off to kill him? I mean, they were acting like it. They were, with how violent the brawl was. It's just like, are they honestly just going to take him out and kill him?
Well, with this being TNA, and considering that Christopher Daniels has attempted to murder people no fewer than 3 times in the past month, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, plus we're forgetting that this is the same company that still employs Abyss, the board-wielding maniac.
Where is Abyss, anyways?
Nobody knows.
It's like, wait, are we really missing Abyss?
I don't know. It's just weird that he's kind of vanished. But anyways, they're going to throw Hardy in the back of the truck, and then James Storm comes in, and more fighting, and finally Sting comes in with his baseball bat of plot convenience.
And he tries to take out not Storm, but Rude and Bully Ray, and they run away, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. And we follow it up with something I don't think we've seen yet on Impact. An opening video, an intro for the show with their theme song and everything. You know what I mean?
An actual intro.
Yeah. Like, usually from here we just go to like whatever the first segment is, but no, they actually decided we're gonna have an intro, and that's weird. Stop doing things that are weird, Impact. You're scaring me.
Yeah, it's like different music and everything. Well, maybe not different music, but
yeah. But then after that, we go right into our first match of the night. A number one contenders match for the Knockouts title between Velvet Sky, Mickie James, and Tara. And immediately, not very... It seems like a good match. You know, at least two of them can wrestle. And there's Velvet, and, you know, she's wearing her normal ring attire. And, oh, wait, no, she isn't. So, and, you know, she's been demoted from, you know, showing off her ass to take jeans.
Yeah, Jess, you were really pissed that Velvet Sky was wearing pants.
I don't understand why. She looks so much better with the damn pants. I was actually really sad when I realized that Tara was coming out in the, you know, like short. Just like, oh.
I gave it some careful thought last night, and I admit I may have overreacted a bit. I think it was just the shock of seeing her not, you know, not wearing her usual ring attire and being like, wait, she almost looks decent. This can't be.
Well, that has been her only character trait for a long time, is that she has a nice ass.
Yeah, and believe me, that ring rope gets more action than like most males ever do.
Huh. But yeah, the match is all right, and it ends with Tara hitting a side suplex, basically hitting a side suplex on Mickie on top of Velvet. And then she gets the pin from that. And that was weird when we read the spoilers, because we didn't know what the hell the guy was trying to say. And then we saw it and like, oh, I get it. Actually, wait, no, I don't get it, but I'll roll with it. What the hell?
it looks weird.
And of course, not like we can give the number one contendership to Velvet Sky, you know, the person who was in line for a push at Bound for Glory, and then that got derailed thanks to Gail Kim. No, give it to an ex-WWE star. Because God knows we've already jobbed out Mickie James, and Tara's the only other female WWE talent we have. Though I guess I shouldn't complain, because I'm sure Tara will put on a much better match than Velvet Sky ever would.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with like Tara's career, but at the very least, you know, they've been talking about how her and Gail Kim have history together, so it should be interesting, as much as Impact can ever make the women's division interesting.
Yeah, and she is Victoria after all.
But yeah, we get a backstage promo with Gail Kim, and she's saying like oh, they have a history together. They know each other inside and out. Oh my, what could she mean by that?
They may have had like a match or two in WWE at one point. I don't know if you can call it history, but whatever, let's roll with it.
Anyways, after the commercial, we come back and we get a recap of the brawl from the opening of the show, just in case you are brain damaged, and if you're watching Impact, you probably are.
What does this say about us, though?
Exactly what you think.
Yeah.
We've been doing this shit for almost a year. If it hasn't happened yet, it will. And so
yeah, more recap of the brawl, which we just saw.
And after the recap, we get part 2 of the brawl, because Sting brings James Storm and Jeff Hardy out to the ring, and they say, Bully Ray, Robert Roode, get your asses out here. And then fighting, baseball bat, fighting, match tonight.
Of course.
Yeah, it was really contrived. It's like, let's bring them all out here and have them fight, but not really fight, and then set up a match later. Like, you could have done the segment just with Sting going, okay, you two against you two. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they announce the match, the fighting resumes, and sorry.
I think the reason why they did it like that is they obviously, apparently, their crux was going to be this fighting, because there was just nothing going on for this episode story-wise. It was just dull. So they had no choice but to, basically just be like, okay, brawl. We got to do something to keep the excitement up. Not that it worked.
For a show that puts so much stock into its TV product, you'd think they'd try and do a better TV product, but they didn't even try.
So we got the magnificent, valiant return of Alex Shelley.
Looks fucking ridiculous.
Yes, yeah. Seriously, what the hell was that on top of it? I know it was his hair, but what the hell? It looked like somebody dipped him in.
It's gone from being like a viscera mohawk to like sort of swished over to one side.
It has engulfed the top of his head.
It's slowly eating him. The man is being consumed by bleach.
It's a tumor.
No, it's not the tumor. He's being consumed by bleach.
So we get Alex Shelley versus.
Yeah, wait, no. Yeah, they set up.
I skipped Eric Young.
No, because I want to talk about this because he's got a match against Zema Ion tonight, and he says that Zema Ion is good, but he's not X Division title material. Way to bury one of the best talents you've got, dumbass.
Yeah, especially when he's new and you're trying to build him up.
Oh, but yeah, let's move on to Eric Young, and he's backstage. And this random guy walks by, and he's like, "Hey, Sammy Davis Jr." What? Seriously?
Please, they're both black.
I mean, I have no idea who Sammy Davis Jr. is, but
wow, get cultured.
Wow, really?
Nope, I have no idea.
I know who he is.
Holy shit, I know who that is.
Really? Do I just live under a rock that much?
Yep.
I guess so. I mean, admittedly, he's before both our times, but fuck.
Well, it might be a nice
We'll have to educate you later. Anyway. So, yeah, Eric Young segment.
So, and yeah, Angelina Love and Winter come up to him, and they're trying to, and they're like, we're really sorry we got mad at you last week. We want your cock. Because we're whores now.
God damn it.
No, this was the bit where Eric was actually making me happy. Because the whole time, because Angelina's doing all the talking, and Winter's just trying to be sexy, and all he keeps saying is I know at one point he's like, she's gonna turn me into stone. Like, he's constantly going on about how Winter's a witch, and she's going to cast a spell on him.
Yeah, so they're trying to disease him. They've got their hands all over him, and Angelina goes to kick him in the nuts, and well, it doesn't work because Eric's wearing a cup, and he lets us know he's wearing he promptly lets them know that he's wearing the cup by taking it off, by pulling it out of his pants and trying to stuff it in their faces.
That is probably illegal.
It's technically not violence against women, but
it's gross.
It's very indirect.
Yeah, and so they run off as ODB shows up, and she's basically telling them, yeah, we've got this match against them tonight. And I kind of feel bad for Eric, because at least when he was, the DV champion, he was doing something. I mean, he's still being funny, but
But now he's in the women's division. Why?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It was kind of cool when Eric Young and ODB first started tagging, because you thought they'd be bringing ODB and having her fight men because she can do that shit. But no, we've got Eric Young fighting women, which is not allowed on Spike TV, as we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to Eric Young fighting women or not fighting women.
But right now, we've got an X Division match, Alex Shelley versus Emma Ion, and as typical of your X Division match, it was pretty good. I've got nothing else to say. It was pretty good.
It was probably match of the night.
And I'll give it to him. Zema Ion is selling his gimmick really good, because like anytime he's in the corner and they're shoving the camera in his face because Shelley's got him like pushed up against the turnbuckle, it's like, no, don't look at me right now. No, this is not a good angle. Put it away. Put it away. That's good.
It is. That's at least it's something.
So yeah, very good match. Shelley wins with sliced bread. And I don't know if they said this was a number one contenders match, but does this mean that he's facing Austin Aries at Against All Odds?
I don't know if he's necessarily. I don't know. They were definitely talking about how he had to beat Zema to be able to even have a chance. I don't know if he's necessarily gotten number one contendership.
I don't know. I just know that this had something to do with a number one contendership, and that's probably the route they're going anyways, even if it wasn't set up.
That's what I think basically Aries said last week, something about when Shelley returned, that he'd have to work his way up to earning a title shot, which meant going through the X Division. So Ion this week, he's probably gonna have to wrestle Nice or Sorensen next week, and probably Kid Cash the week after before he gets the title shot.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
And you know what? I know I've asked this before, but I really want to know, where the hell is Chris Sabin? He's been out.
I think he's still in.
He's been out.
I can't even remember the last time I saw.
Look, I know knee injuries are serious business, but 8 months, he should be like in some kind of working condition.
It could also be that I don't know, they're afraid that if they come back, they might have a decent tag team division again. And fuck that noise.
No, we got to put over working in Crimson.
No.
I don't know, or maybe Chris Sabin just came to his senses and thought, "Gee, I could make more money in the Indies." And I'd hope that he
probably could.
I'd heard rumors that he was working matches for ROH, but I don't think that's been confirmed. Because in the little Minitron that they've got when Alex Shelley comes out, Chris Sabin's still in the video.
Oh yeah, they've
just been.
They're not going to spend that much of a budget.
They've just been too lazy to edit it, or they're hoping he'll come back. I don't fucking know.
It's TNA. They've been too lazy to edit it.
This is probably, aside from Generation Me, this is probably the least luckiest tag team in TNA, because first Alex Shelley breaks his collarbone and has to be sidelined for 4 months. Then the very night he returns, Chris Sabin suffers a knee injury.
So they both have to languish as singles wrestlers.
And even before that, the whole storyline that Hogan wanted to do with them was a breakup angle, because that's all Vince Russo knows how to do with fucking tag teams.
And they couldn't even do that because they couldn't even get them both in the ring at the same time.
Anyways, I've ranted about this long enough. Let's get back to it. We've got AJ Styles backstage, and you know what? I feel so bad for AJ Styles, because you look at him from like even 5 years ago compared to today. The man looks so old, beaten, and broken down that he's just been completely destroyed by this damn company.
Yeah, he did not look good tonight.
He really did. do.
It's so depressing looking at AJ Styles because it's so much wasted potential. He's had so many opportunities. He's busted his ass for almost 10 years for this goddamn company, and he's gotten almost nothing out of it.
Yeah, I mean, with the number of times that they have, he started to get some momentum only for them to just yank the rug out from under him because they got some big new acquisition, like or like when Christian came in, or when, well, maybe not Kurt, but he's basically he's the guy that they want to push as their top guy when they don't have somebody from the WWE around.
It's just really sad.
Yeah. It would get to me too. It would just bust me right the hell down. So, but AJ's talking about how he's wondering what kind of effect the business has on people because everyone else has turned his back on him, and now even Frankie has, and he doesn't care if he wants to be Daniel's puppet. He's got to get to the bottom of what's going on tonight. Fucking yeah, right.
So now it's just one Sheehan.
Huh. Yeah. All right. And anyways, we get a promo from Tara next, basically kind of like a mirror version of what Gail Kim said earlier in the night. It was all right. And then we've got what we really were looking forward to. We've got Eric Bischoff going to a gym where Garrett is training. And who's his trainer? We'll find out next. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't know.
So yeah, we had to cut away to a commercial for this.
To the gym.
Yeah, we had to cut away to a commercial for this. And like they couldn't have just shown it because the promo literally cut 2 seconds out. Because instead of showing who his trainer is, we just have Eric Bischoff yelling at the cameraman, "Shut it off! Shut it off! We're getting out of here!"
Oh, it's gonna be something stupid or somebody from WCW, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's like, what's the point?
It's probably.
Well, my immediate thought was Hogan.
Yeah, my money's probably on Hogan because Hogan is high on Garrett Bischoff for some reason. He's tweeting about him, saying like, "Oh, he's got the stuff, brother." Or they're probably just working us, and I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care about Garrett Bischoff. I know they're trying really hard to get him over, but it's not working. He sucks as a wrestler. He needs to spend some time in OVW. Actually learn his shit.
And kayfabe wise, how bad a father is Eric Bischoff anyway?
Are you really surprised?
Well, that's kind of the point.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised and shocked, but it just kayfabe wise, it just strikes me.
Yeah, we also got to remember.
Well, what struck me was the fact that he's not even trying to hide it around other people. Like he goes barreling into that gym. Is some punk called Garrett Bischoff here? You're talking to a complete stranger. Shouldn't you at least pretend to be a decent person? Save face, look good for your business.
If Bischoff's just lost the
like a raging soul.
I'm sorry, have you ever met Eric Bischoff?
They'll film him just walking down the street. He takes candy out of some kid's hand. It's like, what are you going to do about it? I'm Eric Bischoff. I own the business.
Ties a woman to a railroad tracks.
Oh, God. Anyways, let's move on to the oh-so-riveting match of Angelina Love and Winter versus Eric Young and ODB. Oh, my God!
Oh, fucking Lord. We've been waiting for this, guys.
Yes, this is material. Because at first it's kind of okay because you got ODB in the ring and she's doing her stuff and she's entertaining. And then she tags in Eric Young. And here, let me sum up Eric Young's moveset. Stalling, 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 lock up with the ref. Stalling, stalling, play to the crowd. Taunting, stalling, stalling, lock up with the ref. Taunting, taunting, take your pants off. Taunting, stalling, tag in
bullshit.
Yeah,
every generation.
He basically just wastes TV time He wastes the audience's time. He wastes our time. And you could have been giving this shit to like some other wrestler, like I don't know, Jay Lethal,
or one of the other frickin' knockouts. Okay, I don't know who, but it could have been one of the other frickin' knockouts instead of it being Eric Young. I mean, Eric Young's great, but this is not the kind of situation you want him in.
I don't even know what.
Also, I'd like to point out, it's kind of sad when you've got Hulkamania ripping off his shirt, brother, and then you've got Eric Young ripping off his pants as a sign that he's getting serious.
Yeah, but it's just a waste of time. Like, Eric Young is much better than this. Yes, he's a comedy wrestler, but comedy wrestlers still wrestle. Like, putting him in the women's division is not going to work. It can't work. You're on a network that doesn't allow men to have any violence against women.
Yeah, it's like it didn't work for Harvey Whippleman. It's not working now.
Did you learn fucking nothing from what you did to Daphne? Oh.
So, yeah, then...
Wait, what am I saying? TNA learning from their mistakes. What kind of idiot am I?
Well, we weren't going to say anything.
Like, just put Eric Young, put him in contention for, pair him up with someone, or hey, here's a daring thing. In fact, let me see if I can do some better booking than TNA right here. Have Eric Young and ODB be a serious tag team. Like, actually let fucking Eric Young wrestle people. Like, have them wrestle in the tag team division, and actually let them get a #1 contender shot against Matt Morgan and Crimson. And I know this is probably going to sound crazy, but have them win the titles. Like have Eric Young pull a fluke and get a roll up on Matt Morgan. And I know Genghis is probably going to punch me in the head for saying that, but that could probably lead into the whole feud between Matt Morgan and Crimson starting back up, because they want to do that. And then let Eric Young and ODB have the titles for a couple weeks, and then they'll lose them to oh shit, there are no other teams because you dissolved them all. See how this all just kind of falls apart?
Yeah, TNA, what the hell, man?
Yeah, so Eric Young and ODB win. Really, all you need to know about this match, other than the whole. Well, ODB almost pops out of her top, but that's not a fucking surprise.
She does every time
anymore.
she's on screen.
Yeah, exactly. We go backstage to Bully Ray, who's asking Rude when he's asking when Rude was partner. I think he was talking about James Storm, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't remember this promo.
He's asking when Storm drew a pair.
Yeah, and Rude's like, I didn't think he would. And they start the whole, they start comparing him to Team 3D. Sorry, Mike.
The point of this promo is that Rude and Bully Ray are apparently getting really paranoid about each other. And I have no idea where that came from, if that's been building or if they just suddenly did it.
Yeah, they're trying to exit the room, and they're afraid to go first because the other one will stab them in the back. Or some shit like that.
And that's actually kind of decent, because it's a change of pace from the faces acting like this. Like, this is kind of classic heel behavior. And it's usually the faces who don't get along. So, I had no problem with this segment.
And then we have a video package with a bunch of Matt Morgan and Crimson and Samoa Joe bullshit.
Yeah, because we care.
It's like, yeah, this is the point in the show, just before this next match, where I officially stopped caring. Like, la la la, I don't care. Sticks my finger in my ears.
And then we get Samoa Joe versus Matt Morgan. This match sucked.
Oh, God.
Samoa Joe just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
He hasn't given a fuck for a long time. So,
I don't even want to talk about this match. Matt Morgan wins, obviously.
There's just nothing to say.
It really isn't.
I can't even tell who's supposed to be heel, who's supposed to be face.
You know what? I think it's safe to say at this point there really aren't heels and faces in TNA. There's just a bunch of assholes, and some of them are more assholish than others, depending on the day.
I know that there's like no faces in this company because like go back to the beginning of the night. What are we supposed to assume, that Jeff Hardy jumped Bully Ray backstage? That's not very good guy behavior. He doesn't really have much of a reason to attack Bully Ray. His beef is with Bobby Roode, who screwed him out of the title twice. Bully Ray is just kind of like fucking around with Bobby Roode right now. You don't jump a guy like that when you're supposed to be the good guy.
It's like the morality palette in this company is just this gray, fucking monochrome slate.
It's
like
Vince Russo's,
no conflict.
It's Vince Russo's constant idea that face and heel is an outdated term. It's all just shades of gray. But here's the thing: they're all just heels. It's always obvious. There's always a guy that we root for, and there's always a guy that we cheer for. And right now, we have nobody to cheer for.
It just creates apathy in the audience. And they've certainly done a good job.
It's not like it's just the internet community. You can sit there and watch, and you can see that no one gives a shit at those shows.
Just sitting there like
something actually happened.
It's so vacuous, man.
Yeah. Anyways, after the match, Magnus hits the ring, and they beat down Matt Morgan. And that's it. It's a beatdown. Then we go to James Storm and Jeff Hardy backstage saying, like, hey, isn't it funny how we went from kicking each other's butts to watching each other's backs? Yeah, that is kind of funny. It's almost like Bruce Pritchard writes this show by throwing his shit at the wall.
It's like, oh, they're going to be friends this week. Sure. Let's roll with it. Yeah. So, Jeff Hardy goes, they started the show with a bang, but they ended with a boom.
Cute. Shut up, Jeff.
I guess that was supposed to mean something.
Yeah. Anyways.
Speaking of things being broken down, here comes AJ. He comes out to the ring, and he is basically the same shit it's been recently with him. Trying to ask Kazarian what the hell is going on. Having Daniels come out to say, I'm not going to interrupt things. Screwing around a bit. It looks like they're going to get along, except that they don't. Because Daniels is like, if you talk, I'll tell it. If you talk, I got stuff on you, bitch. Kazarian acts like a bitch. Gets out of the ring.
Yeah, he kind of skimmed this promo, but when Daniels comes out, he basically points, like they're trying to hint at what on earth Daniels is trying to accomplish, because it's like, oh, how typical of you, AJ. You don't get your way and you come out here to complain. Well, yeah, he's technically right, but when has AJ Styles ever gotten his way?
We talked about this earlier. He's so broken in this company.
You want to... You know what? I'm going to make a claim. We were wondering who the next Paul London would be. He's right here. God damn.
Yeah, it's like stomp, stomp, clap, clap. Wasted potential. Stomp, stomp, clap, clap.
So yeah, this is really something we should care about, because people like AJ and people kind of like Kaz, and Daniels is pretty over as a heel. but they're not giving us anything to care about. It's just like, I know something, but I'm not telling. Boo me. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. We've got nothing to go on. There's no reason to care about this. Anyone got anything?
Yeah, it's like we don't care that Daniels is now heel for like the three millionth time. It just
I have nothing Savages to say. Well, I was so bored by this point that I was pretty much just shooting everything out. I have no idea what's going on. I know that Kazarian is not heel, but so that happens all the fucking time.
I'll admit, Daniels is working a bit better as a heel now that he's not trying to stab someone with a screwdriver every goddamn week and is actually being a little bit more subtle. But we don't have anything to go on with this angle.
Actually, I do have something to bring up.
What?
Did anyone else notice that Kazarian is acting like he doesn't want it to be betraying AJ? That's like the only minorly interesting thing I could pick out of all of this was that Kazarian looks divided.
Yeah, that's
basically
that's kind of the angle they're going for. Like, Daniels has something on Kazarian that he's like blackmailing him or something,
some sort of blackmail thing.
Yeah, and
he's got like footage of him like getting a blowjob or something.
But it's mildly intriguing.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious because that would have been the better way to do the Angelina and Velvet Sky breakup. So there wasn't fucking magic.
I thought it was drugs.
But then it wouldn't have been hilarious, stupid. It was a bit of both.
Oh yeah.
But no, my main problem with this is the fact that it's basic. No matter how you look at it, it's still AJ versus Daniels part infinity at this point. It's just that Daniels isn't wrestling him. And I'm sure this was a great feud, once upon a time, but oh my god. The horse is beginning to smell.
Yeah.
Quit hitting it.
It was fine back at Destination X when they were doing this, like, oh, we built this company on our feud single-handedly. Let's have one more match. And then one more match turned into another, and another, and another, and oh my god, it's still going. Ugh. I cannot facepalm hard enough. Anyways, this promo... I'm just over the Daniels AJ stuff. Let's move on to our main event. Jeff Hardy and James Storm versus Robert Roode and Bully Ray. In a tables match. Why a tables match? Because Russo. My god, we say that a lot on the show.
Yeah.
He's been the boogeyman for the last 10 years.
When they had made this match, I guess Sting had been like, "Should we make it or Jeff like, we should make it a tables match." Sting was like, "Should we make it a tables match?" And some idiot in the ring some idiot in the audience would, "Yeah." And Sting took this as being, "Okay, that's a great idea."
I guarantee you nobody in the audience said shit.
So everyone comes out.
And
actually, speaking of piped-in crowd noises, I think we've kind of mathematically proven that the piped-in crowd noises are physically impossible for Impact at this point. Because even if they were filled to capacity, I don't know how many the Impact Zone can hold. I think it's like 1,200, and they never have anywhere near that. They can get 400, and they'd never do. And that crowd is always dead. Like, they pack everyone to one side, and nobody says anything. And yet, the piped-in crowd noises makes it sound like they're in some huge arena. Suspension of disbelief does not work that way.
I can't necessarily begrudge them wanting to make it sound like they actually do have a packed house. It's television. There's always going to be that, that level of.
We want to seem important, goddammit.
But it's just it'd be one thing if they had like 400 people that are cheering, and then they make it sound like there's more people along with that. It's sad when you're playing boos or cheers over a very obvious, crowd that is obviously not doing much of anything. that's where it gets really bad.
Yeah. Anyways, as for this match,
so basically the match begins. And,
it's your standard tables match. Most of it has to be shown in split screen, which is annoying.
Yeah, like when the two start fighting each other, and a bunch of shit happens. They get one table. Bully Ray tries to spear. I think it was Jeff Hardy.
Now he tries to kick him, but his foot goes through it, and somehow that is not the end of the match.
Yeah, because they have to get driven through it by their opponents. I'm sure everybody knows how table matches work.
That is not true. I've seen plenty of tables matches where people have put themselves through the table, and that's the finish. Like a guy goes for a top rope move, but the guy moves off the table, so he puts himself through it. You lose.
It's whatever the hell they want it to be at the time.
I always thought the rules of the tables match was that you had to be put through by your opponent, and it had to be you had to be put through by your opponent. So like if they got off the table and your ass went through from like a jump, well, you're the one who put yourself through the table. Doesn't count.
I don't know. Maybe Impact does different rules than ECW, WCW, and WWE did, but I've seen tables matches in all three of those companies where people put themselves through tables and they lose.
It's very
basically, the match finishes when Storm takes a dive onto Rude and goes to the table, and Jeff Hardy holds Rude down.
Yeah, and like I know people would bitch that like, oh, why aren't we seeing the Swanton? Because Jeff is fucking injured. Why isn't he like trying to rest before Against All Odds?
Is he injured?
Yeah, he has a bad back.
Yeah, TNA doesn't really work like that. They make people wrestle injured.
He's Jeff Hardy.
Wrestlers can't afford insurance.
He's Jeff Hardy. All he has to say is like, I don't want to work tonight, and they're like, okay, take the night off. They'll bend over backwards for Jeff Hardy. Don't give me that bullshit. Help not by the fact that at Final Resolution he took that death dive off the steel cage.
Yeah, and I don't think it's also helping that like after the match, Bully Ray comes in and he just obliterates Storm and Hardy with a chair, and then does his top rope power bomb to Hardy through the table, and it's like, that can't be good for Hardy's back.
And neither could be chair shots directly to it.
Yeah, it's like, if the guy's got a hurt back and he's working hurt, maybe targeting the injury, especially if they're not making a big deal about it on TV, maybe that's stupid. Maybe that's stupid, and you should stop it, TNA. Stop that shit.
Like, I can respect Jeff Hardy for working hurt, but when you're doing shit like this, you're just being stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jeff's fault too. I'm just saying, some of the blame goes to TNA for not being like, well, maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we end the show with Bully Ray putting Hardy through the table, and the EMTs come in to check on him. And I'd almost cry ripoff of what happened on Monday Night Raw, which we'll get to in another show, if this hadn't been filmed way the hell before that. So I won't call TNA on some bullshit. Whatever. So that was the show.
It happened. As you can tell by our enthusiasm for the show, it was pretty boring.
We've got 2 more weeks before Against All Odds, and they're already killing for time. We're doomed.
Let's wrap up.
It was a hot shoe fest.
Yeah. Anyways, let's bring it home with what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal. And I'm going to start with Eric Young not wrestling gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Eric Young's cup gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Gunnar Bischoff's trainer gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
This guy in pants gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
All right, I think that'll do it for this episode of the Dark Match. For everyone here, I am Backlash.
I'm DJ Fox, the fox that rocks your socks.
I'm Lone Warrior.
And I'm Due with Angel. Good night and good luck.